Hi Stampers, this is Kim with Great Inspirations. Thank you for joining me today. I have for you 5 cards, and each of these cards was made using a designer series paper from the Stampin' Up Sale-A-Bration Brochure. And there is that brochure. And for those of you who do not know, Sale-A-Bration runs from now, it started the 4th of January, and it goes from now through February 29th. And for each $50 product purchase of Stampin' Up products, you can select an item in this catalog. There are 3 items in this catalog that require a $100 purchase to select them. But all the designer series papers require only a $50 order. So we will take a little look here and just talk about the designer series papers that I used. And here is this, hello, with the sweet birds and flowers. And this is from designer series paper called Flight and Airy. And I have cut, all these papers are 12 by 12 and double-sided, but I've cut them down to 6 by 6 just to be able to show you. There is a bird design on one side and then a more neutral design on the other side. There's some pretty florals. More birds. Kind of some greenery, and there's little tiny birds sitting on the vines. More birds. Sort of a net pattern. Some birds on some pretty flowers there. Neutral. And here's some nice birds. These are good to fussy cut around them and use them maybe as a focal point on your card. And there's the back side of that, a really pretty floral pattern. So that is the paper that I used to make this card. Now the next paper we're going to look at is the Sunny Days paper. And it actually coordinates with a bundle in the new mini catalog, and that's the Bright Skies bundle. So there that is. And here are the designer series papers. We have some clouds, and this has some rain in the clouds, some cherries, just a nice neutral pattern, some sunshine, a nice floral, some butterflies, some strawberries, rainbows, flowers, another nice neutral, sort of a checked pattern, and some more florals. So those are the papers included, or the designs included in the Sunny Days paper. And now we're going to move along to this little Valentine card here. And these papers are from the Most Adored designer series papers, and they coordinate with the Adoring Hearts bundle that is in the current mini catalog. And we'll take a look at these. Now this one, these papers are kind of unique, and they are double-sided, but this side has a lovely design, and this side is gold and white, so some gold foil. Here we have some hearts, more gold foil, mini white hearts on real red, florals with the gold foil. Those are pretty. Hearts, and then a checked or plaid design in the gold foil. And here's I like that this is asymmetrical. And there is a swirl pattern with the gold. And then here's that pattern in Flirty Flamingo, and then on the back side is another floral pattern in gold. So that's another paper pack you could choose if you like, if you have a $50 order. And then the next 2 cards I made using the trusty toolbox designer series paper, and it coordinates with the Trusty Tools bundle, which is found in the current mini catalog. So as you can see, we have some tools, lots of tools, and then there is a second sheet of different tools, and then we have a grid, kind of a neutral in Lost Lagoon, and this looks like a tape measure, lots of screwdrivers, and another neutral, some screws, nuts, bolts, and then more screws and nuts. On this side, some hammers and nails. So that is another pack of designer series paper that you could choose for free with a $50 order. There is one more package of designer series paper that I don't know why I just didn't order it, but it's called Softly Stippled, and it coordinates with the Stippled Rose bundle that is found in the current mini catalog, and it has a lot of pretty floral designs. That's on page 8 of the Sale-A-Bration Brochure. So now another thing I want to talk about with these cards is I made them all using the same card layout. Just changed it up a bit here and there. And here is that card layout. And I just call it Easy Card Layout number 3 because it's really easy. It also is good for using up your scraps. Now, on this little chart, you'll see I have all of these the same designer series paper and these the same designer series paper. You don't have to do that. That's just so I can make a guide over here to show you that these are all cut the same length. So you cut 4 of these at 2 5/8 by 1 1/4, and then these two you're going to cut 2 at 1 1/4 by 1 1/4, and then your greeting is going to be cut at 2 5/8 by 1 1/4. So this is the portrait version. Now here is my landscape version, the same, with the little guide over here. I just inverted it, and then I had to put the greeting, I wanted to put the greeting this way, so this is what I came up with for the landscape. But if you watch as we go through my cards, you'll find you can move all these pieces around on either orientation to get exactly the look that you want. So this is a very versatile card layout. Now, more information about Sale-A-Bration and how to get free items will be on my corresponding blog post, as well as all these cards with their measurements listed and the supply list of items I use to make these cards. And you will also find this. Now the link to that video, or the link to that blog post, will be in the description of this video. So let's just kind of take a peek at these cards. Excuse me. And this is sort of the very basic, with the exception I put the hello up on dimensionals. But this layout is this. And there's our little hello card with the Flight and Airy designer series paper. Now for this card right here, I wanted to use this little fox image, and that comes from the stamp set Playing in the Rain that's in the annual catalog. And he faced left. So if I put him, my greeting here, and then put him here, he would be facing away from the greeting. I didn't want him to be facing away from the greeting. I wanted him to be facing the greeting. So all I did was I did a mirror image. This card is the mirror image of this card. So that's how I changed that up. And then of course I added the little die cut fox. Now, this card is this one. The only thing I did differently, of course, was I added a die cut bee. Be Mine, a cute little Valentine card. And then for this one with the tools, I just used the landscape layout. But instead of using, excuse me, I've got something in my throat today, just a piece of designer series paper or a piece of cardstock for my greeting, I cut the saw from the designer series paper. And the first thing I did, though, I cut around, let me get this, I cut around this saw, and then I adhered it to a piece of basic white cardstock, and then I just cut around this so that it is backed with the cardstock, and that gives it a little more, makes it a little more sturdy to have the greeting and to be up on the dimensionals. So as I said, this is just the landscape version, but instead of using cardstock or designer series paper for that greeting, I just put it on the saw. Now, this one, I cut out some more of the tools, and did I show you that? Did I just show you the two? Did I show you all? Yeah, okay. Here's, I didn't remember showing you the pegboard. Yeah, I did. Okay, there's the pegboard. And so I cut it at 4 by 5 1/4. Excuse me, one moment. Let me get me a little drink here. Okay, that might help. But I, because all of these, you want to put your squares and rectangles on here so that it's equal to a piece of, maybe a layer that is 4 by 5 1/4. So that's why I cut this pegboard paper 4 by 5 1/4. I used a corner rounder punch to round the corners. I don't know why, I just thought it looked better that way. And then it's like, okay, I looked at the design. Small here, too long here, a long one, then the greeting. But down here I was having a really hard time because this image and this image are basically the same, just different colors. It didn't look right. So I just switched, put the short piece over here and the long piece here. But this is, I know it looks very different, but it is the same card layout. So there are 5 cards that I made with those Sale-A-Bration Designer Series papers. Now I will walk you through putting the basic card together, but instead of Designer Series paper, we're going to use cardstock because, like I said, this is also a good way to use up your paper scraps. So if you have some cardstock scraps, let's use those up. And we do need that card base. It's A2 size, which means the front measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I have some different colors of cardstock here. I've stamped the greeting on this one. This is Parakeet Party. And we're just going to adhere these, and I'll see how it goes. So we're going to start with the orange one. And I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on here. And now what I do is I try to get one piece down, and then I'll kind of work with, let's get this one on here, and can't remember where I put all, oh, I think I had the blue one here. So we want to make them so there's, you know, that border. And then I know my greeting goes here, And I need something down here, so that's going to be the red one. And then I'll put the gorgeous grape and that one right there. Excuse me. I think I need to move, if I can. I may not be able to, but I think I need to move this one up just a tad. There we go. So now I'm going to put this one. This is just how I do it. If you have a different way for you, because I just want to get my borders right. Just kind of get it over here. There we go. We'll put the one in the middle. Get it down. Okay. And then, yep, I messed that one up really good, so I had to do it again. There's two sides to the paper, so that works. Get this here. And then we'll put this one down here. It's a lot easier to do when you've got can get your head right over it, I'm finding, but that's okay. We'll make this work. And then get some adhesive on this one. And then a little bit down here. And there you go. And there's a very colorful card, used up scraps, and that is just such an easy card layout. And like I said, you could pop your greeting up on dimensionals. You can add a little die cut character there. You can use gems to dress it up, anything that you would like to do. So there is our very easy and very versatile card layout. Just like I said, I call it easy card layout number 3, and some ways that you can mix it up a bit. Now, as I said, these were all, except for this one, all made with those designer series papers that are available through the Sale-A-Bration Brochure. But please look at this as a way to use up your scraps, because we all need to use up our scraps. I know we all have a box, at least one box of scraps. So this is a really good way to use up your scraps, not only of your designer series paper, but also of your cardstock. Well, again, thank you for joining me today. And as always, I will have that corresponding blog post link for you in the description of this video. Now, if you happen to be the first one to look at my video, the corresponding blog post link might not be there quite yet, but give it a couple minutes and I'll have it on there. So until next time, stamp happy.